Hello everybody, my name is Mykenna and I'm from Kingdom Keys 5779. Today I'm going to show you how to do a one-of-a-kind prayer yarn doll. This started as a way to make a really special gift for the Operation Christmas Child boxes, but this is something that could be really used in a lot of different settings. So here's some examples of what they'll look like. Today I'm going to be making one that is a girl one. So here we go. Let's start with what we need. So for this project you're going to need yarn, you're going to need cardboard, and you're going to need a scissors. For this project I'm using one piece of cardboard that's 12 inches long and one that is 4.5 inches long. You can alter any of these things. This is just how I make them. So here we go. So when making these, I really encourage people to pray and just kind of have an atmosphere of worship. I like to put on worship music when I'm making these and just really pray into whatever child is going to end up receiving this. So you start off by grabbing your 12-inch piece of cardboard and you make a slit on the top. And the slit's just going to be about, you're just going to cut about 1/2 inch on the top right there. That just keeps the yarn from really moving. Then you go ahead and you take your yarn, whatever color you want for the body, and you just begin to ravel it around the top. And so as I do this, I just really like to pray and worship, so I'm going to turn on my music and we'll go from there. Alright, so when we get to this point, and as you can see my cardboard's kind of not cooperating, but that's okay. It looks pretty thick, you can kind of see here. I'm not sure exactly how many times I spun it around. You can kind of determine how thick you'd like it. Might take a little trial and error, but that to me looks like it's probably going to make a pretty nice yarn doll. So then what I like to do is, so you're going to cut the end of this, just like that. These are really hard to mess up. And I like to say, the little tweaks or little, interesting characteristics of these things where you might mess up a little bit, I think it adds to the uniqueness of the doll. So after this, what you're going to do is you're going to cut, I like to be on the safe side. I like to do it a little bit longer. I do like to double string this part because this part's very important. So, just a double string portion the same color. So then it really doesn't matter what side you use, just make sure you unhook where that little slit was, the yarn. Then slip your hand underneath like this, and then just slide it off. Okay, so now we've got this big pool of yarn, a big thing of yarn. So you take this, slip it through the top, just through the middle where the cardboard was. Just like that. Kind of shake it a little bit. Then you just tie the top very tightly. Just like that. You can see. And I usually get it as tight as I can without breaking the yarn. Be careful not to break the yarn. And double knot it on the top. Might even want to triple knot it. Alright, so there we go. We got this thing started. Alright, so now you're going to want to take the same color yarn that you had before, and you're going to want to cut just some pieces, longer pieces, to aid us with the tying at this point. So take 2 pieces of yarn, right, shake this a little bit. Alright, and then you're going to kind of get to the point where you got like a nice shaped head. You might have to mess with it a little bit, but yeah. Alright, there we go. So that looks pretty good to me. Then you're just going to tie around it. And after you tie it once, you can always double tie anything by just flipping it around the other side and tie it again just to make it more secure. So, that's what we got so far. So then you take your scissors and you just cut the bottom. There you go, there you go. Start to your yarn doll. So now what we're going to want to do is take about let's say that much yarn, maybe like a little less than 1/4 of the yarn, maybe like 1/6 of the yarn on each side. Just kind of grab, try to grab kind of a comparable amount on both sides, because these are going to be the arms. Alright, so then what I usually do is just tie them. So then what you want to do is I actually usually take the doll the arms. We haven't actually finished the arms yet, but I just hold it up like this, shake it out a little bit, and then I determine how big I want the body to be. I usually don't have the body be that big, not like that, and the rest of it's going to be legs. So then what you do is you take another piece of yarn. I usually do a double for this as well. These are kind of those big areas, right? And then you just tie it off. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing we did with the arms that we're going to do with the legs. And actually you just separate the legs in half. Alright, so when we get to this point, we're actually going to take the tie off of one of the arms, and we're going to braid both the arms. Alright, so there you go. Got the arms going so far. So what I usually do then is I usually just trim the ends. So now we're going to do the legs. And some people like to braid the legs. I tie the legs, just makes them a little bit longer, a little different, so I will show you how I do that. And actually I'll show you an example up close on the other one. Is actually just go down the leg and I just tie off sections. So at this point we have the arms braided, the legs done. We just have to trim up the legs a little bit, and then we'll go on to the next stage. We're going to select a color for the top. So for this, what you do is I usually take the doll, and I usually just tie a knot around just the bottom of the neck. Then I just take this, and I'm just going to hold her upside down so you can kind of see it, and I just start winding around the body. And I try to wind in that little loose piece too. And I kind of, if you can see, I'm crisscrossing over and under the arms. And when you're done, you just want to cut about that much off and just tie it at the bottom. So now we're going to pick the color for the skirt. And I'm going to use this one. So for the skirt, we're actually going to set the doll aside for a second, and we're going to grab that 4.5-inch piece of cardboard. Wind it around just like you did with the other one. And just about that, and then just cut it. We're going to do the same thing we did before, where we just slide it off. For this one though, we do not tie the top. What you're going to do is you're going to hold it just like that, untied, and we're going to cut this open. Alright, so now you want to be really careful with this because it's not tied. So just kind of have it like this. So then, you take your doll, you bring it up against the doll's body, and then before you tie it, before you secure it, you just kind of shift these pieces around the back. You just lay the doll flat like this, and this you want to make sure is as tight as possible because you don't want these strands coming off. As you can see, it's kind of uneven on the bottom, so then you just go around and trim it. Alright, so for the hair I decided to go fun and do like a multicolored yarn. You're going to slide it through, and this time you do tie it. Then what you want to do is where you have the top right here, you're going to kind of just put your finger through there and just kind of create like a little hole on the top overhead. Okay, and then you're going to bring this through. So now I got those two pieces right here, and then I just kind of position it on the top of the head, and then I just tie it real tight. Now we got that. So then what you want to do is you want to just come in and you want to cut it. You can go ahead and trim it. So this is how you make them. And you can do any color, you can do boy or girl, you can braid, you can not braid, you can just kind of play with it, and it's a lot of fun. I really find that this is an amazing way to bless the kids that are getting the boxes. You know, it takes about a half hour to an hour to make these. You can have fun with them, you can make them however you want. You pray over them, you bless them. We just ask in Jesus' name that the kids that receive them would be blessed by them, and that they would just be overcome by His presence and His love. God bless you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out our Kingdom Keys website if you want more information about our company. But otherwise, just be blessed and make some dolls.